Hello there, I've got a card that's all about the background. We've got some high-low technique to share with you today. We're going to be using several of the new dies. From the finishing touches, I have the Hobnail vase, which is kind of like supposed to look like milk glass a little bit. From the Indonesian collection, I'm using a couple of the outer dies in the Sumatra. We have our sentiment that we are just going to borrow from the Message in a Bottle. And the Lily of the Valley, another one of the finishing touches. Looks beautiful in the vase. Pop those to the side. So I'm going to start with the background. So what I've done is I've cut a piece of black card. I believe this is just a hair over 6.25, actually 6 1/8 by 6 1/8. I've covered it with a sticky adhesive sheet. So I'm just going to get the edge of this one started. Let me just bring that in closer. There we go. Peel that back. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pop a piece of copy paper underneath us there. I'm using the Wavy mask. This is one of my favorites. Now for this technique, I recommend you take a clear perfect medium and just ink the back of it, putting a little bit of what I call a helps release the die, or excuse me, the mask from the sticky adhesive sheet. Just give it a little bit of inking. You can even do it this way if you like. Makes it a tiny bit easier. Okay, all right, I'm going in. Let's see if I can lay this down relatively straight. Okay. Take the waxy side and just give it a quick rub. Okay. Now I'm going to be using some of our gilding flakes, and this is Gemstones. Yes. I'm going to open this one full to the brim, as you can see. Pop a little bit down over our mask. It's got a lovely warm reds and golds in here. I'm going to bring in a little bit of Rubit SCRUBIT pad, and I'm just going to move these around until they are worked into all of those, that exposed sticky adhesive sheet behind the openings in the mask. You've got quite a bit here, so let's see if I can make all this stretch. And the Rubit SCRUBIT is just the perfect tool for refining these and taking off the extra flakes that are floating around. There we go. Make sure I get all those corners. Everything looks like it's in quite well. And I'm going to just take off a little bit of the dust, as we call it. There we go. There's a tiny bit left here. Let's just see if I can pop this to the side, and we'll put that back in later. Close my folder. Pop it right behind me. There we go. There's always going to be a little bit of the flake that kind of goes everywhere. So now what we want to do is make sure, in fact, let's just give it a quick run with a piece of kitchen roll. Just make sure we've got all the extra bits off there. There we go. Peel this up. Okay. So now what you have is the black card showing through with the sticky adhesive sheet. So what we're going to do, that was the low. So now I'm going to bring in a little container here, put my clear microbeads in here, and I'm just going to coat this underneath there. Make sure I get them on all the exposed areas. And you just want to rub and make sure it's burnished well into that sticky sheet. And you can remove all of the extra little bits there. And then these can be popped back into your container, and I'll set them to the side. We'll do that afterwards. So now you've got a beautiful high-low technique for your background. So quick and easy to do too. So I'm going to put this onto a backing piece. So I think I'll use a little bit of Cosmic Shimmer glue for this. We'll just glue it into place. There we go. Pop that down. So I should have a nice little white border. Give that a second. And I've done a matted background for it with the black matte in between the two white ones, the pierced edge on the top there. Some mounting foam. Peel that up. Pop that right down in the center. So now I've got my background sorted. Okay, so one of the other things I wanted to share with you was this hobnail vase. Now I've gone ahead and cut it and embossed it. Now it's got these tiny little dots, and on the real milk glass they kind of stick out a little bit. So I'm going to be using some glossy accents for this. And I'm just going to pop in little teeny dots on these, on each of these. Let's just get it flowing. There we go. And accent each one of these with little dots. Now these will take a while to dry, so you need to set it aside. There we go. And if you find you get a little bit of a large drop coming out, just take it off with a tissue and then start over. So I've gone ahead and I'll just do a few more here. Kind of fun, and some of these are a little tiny bit smaller, so you can go back and add them, but I've gone ahead and done one ahead of time. I'll pop that to the side, and you can see it just makes a really nice little accent and kind of brings that out. Now I've started the arrangement with the Lily of the Valley, and there's several different dies you can use on this, and they're left and right facing, and there's little extra leaves and little extra flower stems. So if you like it like that, that's perfect. If you want to add a few more, I think what I'll try and do is add in just a couple little teeny stems here. And I can just nip away a tiny bit of that. Bring one so it kind of comes off the top, giving it a little bit more of an accent. It's totally your call, however you want to do it. Maybe even one going the other way. Trim a little bit off of that. And pop one right under there. Give it a second. But you can see how you can create a nice little vase. And I've just used a little bit of mounting foam in the back there for it. So I'm going to bring back my background. I've gone ahead and cut the Sumatra. You've got one that's got a beautiful pierced edge on it. Then I've cut the smaller one in black. And I went ahead, since the lettering is small and very, very fiddly to work with, I went ahead and put that on in place. But I cut several of them to layer them up so you get a depth to it. And we've got gilding flakes and microbeads there. So I'm going to add some glue, just to make sure that my mounting foam will stick really well. And just do a little bit of a side die look there so you can see that pretty background. Pop that on and put this into place here, right to the side of it. And we'll just add in another little guy coming down here. I love the way these little flowers look. They're so cute. And you can even take them off of some of the larger ones. Just nip them away and use those as well. Let's see if we can get this one to come out off the edge just a tiny bit more, right above the sentiment. Ah, so cute. So I hope you've enjoyed learning the technique for the background, and you can see how pretty that vase works with the flowers too. Look for us on our YouTube channel, and we have so many more videos for you.